What's up, the gang? We are here with someone very special. Someone I highly am like, I have like a man crush, no homo on. Is the guy himself. You know him. Bruh, main God. What's up, bro?
Go. Hello, hello. How are you doing tonight?
Man, I am tired. It's 12 even right now. I'm just tired. What about you? I'm good though.
Shit, I'm good. I woke up at like fucking 1 p.m. as I usually do. Played a
Oh,
lot of Sekiro, then just kind of sat on my ass,
Sekiro.
and
What's
now I'm here.
Sekiro? What's Sekiro? I've heard of that.
It's like, you ever played Dark Souls before?
I know of the game though. I haven't owned one. I played it. I haven't owned it though.
For sure. Well, Sekiro is like fucking basically like Shinobi Ninja version of that, made by the same people. Fun.
Got you, got you,
It's a good
got you.
time.
I might check. I might. I don't know. I might have to cop that. I might have to
I
cop
just
that.
have to. You gotta have mental fortitude though. You can't like it's really difficult. And if you get
Ah,
stuck on some shit, you just gotta tell yourself like I'm gonna do it or else like I'm fucked.
so I can't rage quit and be like, just
No,
start
no
over.
rage, no rage quitting. You could quit for sure, but you gotta come back. You feel me?
I feel you. Okay, okay. I fuck with that. I fuck with that. Ugh. But anywho, we'll talk about games. Anywho. So, of course, like I start every interview, you tell the people, what you do, where you're from. If you're okay disclosing where you're from.
Yeah, no, it's cool. Um, I guess you could say I just like do vocal work and produce. I'm an artist from the Bay Area, California. I'm not from San Francisco, but we'll just say San Francisco because fuck this place that I'm in right now.
Places like, well, not Vacaville, but like near that or.
Uh, it's like I live up in Marin, which is like a little bit up north of San Francisco and shit. It's like
Okay,
my hometown area. I
okay.
don't know. It's fucky. It's whatever though.
Sounds lit. Sounds lit. Is
It's
it
its own thing for sure.
is it true like it? Because you're not in San Fran, but are like the prices for everything high up there?
Oh yeah, San Francisco's expensive as fuck. That's actually part of the reason why I moved back here from San Francisco because that shit is just expensive as fuck. And I literally like just fucking graduated high school like about like 8 9 months ago. So like
Oh shit! Congrats
I
on
got to
that.
get into the flow of things a little smoother, a little easier on my brain.
I feel. I feel. Yeah, I've heard that. I heard like a burger was like $42.
I don't know about all that, but I guess you could say that. We'll just say that that's what it is.
Got you. All right, it's 42. No, someone. Yeah,
42 a burger.
yeah. Oh shit. Well, anyway, so no, I'm not answering this. What made you want to start, producing and doing vocals?
Well, when I was like, well, I've always known that I wanted to be like, or I wanted to do music since I was a little ass kid. And I didn't really start trying until I want to say like seventh or eighth grade. I wanted to like be in bands and shit. And I was trying to start hella bands through like eighth grade and freshman year.
Mm,
And I don't know, nobody really had like the spark. Nobody was really trying to do the shit I was trying to do. And if they were, they weren't trying to work towards it. So
right.
freshman year, I was like getting into rap heavy and shit. And I just decided I'd do that because I like the creative control.
Mm, okay. Okay. So that, you have any like inspirations? Any like bands that you like were inspired by?
Number one, System of a Down for sure.
Mm.
I was like raised on that shit. Like fresh out the womb, my dad would be like playing fucking System songs on his acoustic guitar and shit.
Okay.
But other than that, in terms of like rap influences, I would say like Jizza and Dell. Those are probably like my two favorite rappers.
Mm. Okay. Okay. Um. So I've noticed a lot of your songs you put new metal as like the genre. So is you do
Right.
correct. So like is that what you like you would define your music more as than what?
Uh, Not necessarily. I would define maybe like that album specifically because that was the only album I ever tagged that shit
Oh,
with.
okay.
But Yeah, I guess I would call that album new metal, like air quotes new metal, just because it's like rap and metal fused into one, and it's the most like metal influenced project that I've done so far.
Hmm.
But like for the broader scope of all my music, we'll just call it like experimental rap because like it's all very rap based, you know.
Right.
And then
I feel like that's always the safest route. When people like that make this type of music, they just go experimental. Like, you know.
yeah, for sure, because like I don't stick to one like vein of shit. I try to use all my influences. You feel me?
Okay. All right. So what other genres would you want to like mend into the rap and things like that? Are you looking into?
In terms of like what I would describe my shit as.
Or like yeah, like what would you want to do like in the future?
Oh, in the future, shit. That's a tough question. I don't even know what I want to do now. You feel me? Like I don't have like my ideas aren't super like planned out like that most of the time. A lot of the time, when I make a song, I'll just hop on my computer, pick a beat or make one, and then write to that shit if I'm feeling it, and then the song will come out.
Hmm. Okay. But learning how did you learn how to produce by yourself or?
Yeah, through Logic Pro. Well, actually, I was like messing around with like mixing and all that shit in GarageBand way before any of this, but I kind of like carried over my knowledge of that shit to Logic when I started using it, and then I taught myself how to make beats and shit.
Hmm. Okay. Okay.
I was
Interesting.
probably like 14 when I started making beats.
That's young. Yeah. That's young. That's a
Yeah.
young age. Whoa. So starting out that young, like anything. Well, I guess it's probably a dumb question. I was gonna ask like, has your mindset changed on how you approach music? But I'm pretty sure it has with growth. So kind
Oh yeah, for sure. It's
of.
hard. It's hard to say how, just because it's been like 4 fucking years. You feel me? Like
Right.
it's been a long time. But yeah, just like the natural growth that comes with growing up, I guess, and like doing art for so long.
Of course. Yeah. Um. So who would you want to collab with in the future? Just for yourself, what you think would be a cool collab?
Hmm. The only people that I could say I want to collab with that I haven't already collabed with are fucking like Travis Scott and Young Thug.
Ooh, I would love that.
Those are like the main ones.
I would love
Like that's like the end goal in terms of like collabing.
that. Right. That's when you
Like
get.
if you asked me like when I was like 15 or some shit, I would have been like Eric North, but like it doesn't fucking matter anymore.
Yeah, that's true, and it already happened. So at this point, but, mm, that's dope. That's dope. Uh, so why the name Bruhmanegod? I'm pretty sure you probably get that a lot.
I do get that a lot, and I guess I owe an explanation now because every other time someone's asked me, I've just been like, "Oh, we'll touch on that at a later date." But
This is that later date.
the boring explanation is like I was on Instagram one day and I like was scrolling through Instagram, you feel me, and I come across this like Slug Christ Instagram post,
Oh, I love Suck Rice.
and he just has this random ass caption, and like the word at the end of the caption just so happened to be "Brown God," and for whatever fucking reason, I was like, that resonates very deeply. But like since then, like about like a couple months in, I found my own meaning for it, so that's out the water. But
So technically, Slugger Christ gave you your name in the
yes,
name.
sir. And I'm not even really like tripping about that. I don't care. Like Slug Christ was one of my first underground rappers, so I don't give a fuck about saying that. That's where I got it from.
That's dope, though. I think that's cool. I think that's
Yeah,
really cool. Man, it's cool.
it's cool.
It's weird. It's like when you find another Slug Christ fan. It's like, oh shit,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
exist.
Shit runs thin. Shit runs thin. I don't meet a lot of people that fuck with Slug Christ
Hell
like
yeah,
that heavy.
hell yeah. I mean, like I wouldn't say I'm like heavy, but I fuck with his music. I've been fucking with him since like 2016, 2015.
Yeah, yeah. I think 2015 is when I got into him and like Awful Records and all that shit.
Right, right. That's dope though. That's dope. So that's what that notorious. Well, notorious is negative. That famous name came
Oh,
from.
you could say we could call it infamous.
Infamous. That works. That works. Oh shoot. So, what is your perspective of like your fan base? Like, what do you think of your fans?
Uh, I mean, they cool. You know, I mean, like,
Do they give you like good feedback that you like, or do they tell
yeah,
you
for
when something
sure. I
is
mean,
wrong?
they mostly just like reply to my stories or like tag me and shit. I don't get a lot of like conversational DMs. It's mostly just people trying to be like, bro, like, I love you, bro, and it's cool. It's fun. It's just sometimes I notice how like grown a lot of these dudes are, and it makes me uncomfortable.
That's
But
true.
like at the end of the day, it's gonna come with anybody's fan base type shit. So it's whatever. I love everybody who supports me.
That's what's up.
So
So would
even if
you?
they're weird as fuck,
Yeah, and they are in this community. A lot of weird ones, but
I love a lot. I love a lot.
yeah, that's good. Do you prefer more like? Do you want your fans to be more? You know, like convert. Do you want them to converse with you more, or are you cool with that?
Nah, I mean, I don't really care what they do. They can do whatever the fuck they want. I just wish that they would let some of them. Not this isn't like the majority of them, but there are just some fans that are like, goddamn, like learn how to act like a normal human being, please. Like you don't got to DM me every day. You don't gotta fucking like I don't know. You don't gotta like ask me about like beefs and shit like that. Like just
Oh,
fucking chill the fuck out. Like mind your business and listen to my shit. You feel me?
yeah,
That's all.
that can get annoying. I bet. Shoot,
But it's
shoot.
whatever.
Well, I'm not gonna be one of your fans that does that.
Oh
I'll
no, I
just
don't think you will.
hey, I just will. So I gotta ask because like I skimmed on your Instagram a little bit. This just came in my head. I just gotta ask this. Your fashion, man. Like like what clothes you rock. You know.
I don't really pay attention to shit I wear. I wear like black sweatpants and a black hoodie, and that's like my main outfit that I wear most of the time.
That's your uniform, my G.
Pretty much, bro. I don't know. I don't want to spend money on clothes like that. So a lot of the shit, a lot of the newer clothes that I have, I've just been given for free, like by people I know that make clothes and shit.
Mm. Would you ever have some Bruhmanegod merch? Or
Oh yeah, for sure. I plan on doing that just like when the time is right.
that's lit. I hope I get laid when I wear it. Anyway, uh,
You
uh,
might. Shit.
I hope so. But you got any? You in a collective, right? Or
Uh, not really.
no, no collectives.
I
You
guess.
don't.
I guess we could say I'll count Spider Gang as a collective. I
Uh,
guess,
Spider
but
Gang
like
is with
it's with Lil Darky, Low Key
Lil.
Benzis, Wendigo, Black,
Okay.
A14, and Salsa. Shout out all them.
Oh, the gang. Yeah, I love them.
Of
Okay,
course, of course.
okay.
It's probably the most like cohesive collective that I've been a part of, just because I know everybody in it like pretty well compared to other collectives that I've been in before. So it's a
Oh,
nice change of pace from like usual SoundCloud shit.
I feel yeah. That's a powerhouse collective right there.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's cool. I fuck with that. I fuck with that. Beside and like I said, I'm giving you the option to name people besides yourself. Do you have any favorite? I'll say underground artists right now. Do you have any favorites?
Favorite underground artists.
Mm-hmm.
Shit. Off top, James Gorsica and Janoskis.
Ooh,
They've been fucking killing it ever since I known them. Even before I knew John, he was killing it. Even before I knew James, he was killing it. But like, I'm glad that
you
I've
got to know
made
them.
such like a tight knit little group with them. Oh fuck, because I don't know. I just fuck with them heavy.
That's dope.
I
So
probably listen to them the most, like out of everybody, besides like 83 Hades
83. Oh, true. And shout out 83. Shout out 83.
and
Uh,
Little Darky, of course. Little Darky's always gonna be one of the favorites.
of course. Shout out Darky too. Uh, man, that's pretty dope. That's pretty dope. So, out of all the songs that you've done, what would you say is like your favorite that
Oh
brother?
shit!
If you
My
have
favorite
one.
song that I've ever done.
Hmm.
Whew, okay, it's definitely on one of my albums. I'm just gonna go look real quick.
Okay. You do your thing.
How about I just pick my favorite off each album that I've done?
That
That'll be
works
a
too.
lot easier.
That works too.
Okay, because even that is kind of difficult. Because for Extermination Order, Custody, and Wrath Attraction are like tied for my favorite song on that album.
Hmm.
And then for Yamuda, either Stop or fucking All Type of Riches.
Hmm. How many albums do you have? Because I haven't looked through all your
I
discography.
have three.
Oh, okay, just did.
albums.
Okay, I probably have looked through it all then. I was making sure.
Extermination Order was like October 2018.
Uh-huh.
Yamuda was January of this year, and then there's Get Up Out the World. And
Okay.
Get Up Out the World, my favorite song is for show. Everybody Smokes.
Well, that's lit. That's lit. That's lit. Okay. Hmm. What's if you had? Because I don't, I don't like saying people have a song that sucks. I hate when artists say their song sucks because it doesn't. But do you have a song
What's
that you
my
just
least favorite song that I
yeah,
made?
basically.
Whew, okay, my least favorite song that I made that I still have up is actually my most popular song of all time, and that is Land Misanthropic.
Mm.
Um, just for like the reason of like it's a 2 year old fucking song, and I like barely knew what I was doing when I made it. Type shit. Like if I made the same song today, it would probably be 10 times better.
I feel. I feel. Hmm. Interesting. I got another question for you. Just something that just curious because it just came to my head. It's late and I'm thinking too much. um, do you? So I know you said you're a fan of Travis Scott and artists like that. But
Yeah, of
do
course.
you have like because your music is very different than obviously than the mainstream. You have a very underground sound.
Right.
Do you feel like the main like do you have a hate relationship with the mainstream, like a love hate relationship, or
Uh, I mean, like, I don't really. I try not to look at it as like a different kind of scene. I just look at all artists as their own thing at this point because, like, when it comes to the mainstream, the industry is just so fucked up and corrupt that you can't even really say that a lot of what's mainstream is actually mainstream
mm-hmm.
because a lot of people who become mainstream are fucking forgotten about the next month.
That's true too. Yeah, that's very true.
So
That's
it's like, mainstream is what it is. I try not to pay too much attention to it because if I did, then I'd probably be mad all the time.
so you never. Well, last thing I don't even want to touch on mainstream too much, but would you ever? Is that like a goal to ever get mainstream? Like, would you ever be okay with that? Or
If on my own I just achieved that kind of like following, then for sure. But I wouldn't like sign. I don't think,
oh, okay, I
and
got
I
you.
wouldn't do like shit that people ask me to do just because they asked me to do it. You feel me?
I got
In
you. But
terms of like appearances and shit like that.
right, but if you got there like a Chance the Rapper type thing, you'd be okay. Like you did it on
Yeah,
your
yeah.
own.
No, I wouldn't be tripping. It's whatever. It's cool.
I got you.
It
I
just
got
means
you.
that more people are enjoying my shit. So
Mm-hmm. That's lit. That's lit. Um, so like the experimental sound that you embody, like does because you do all types of screams and different types of vocal techniques. Like,
right.
how did you learn to do that? When did you start learning how to do that?
Well, I've been fucking screaming since I was like 14, like I said, or since I was like 13 or some shit, because I was trying to start bands for so long.
Mm-hmm.
I was always like super into metal ever since I was little. So I just kind of like picked it up through that and like watched like screaming tutorials and shit like that. But eventually, like, I want to say about like, or fairly recently actually, like with Get Up At the World and Hatred and shit like that, I found my own kind of like signature scream voice, which is pretty much just me yelling as loud as I possibly can.
I fuck with that. I still like that. That's dope. That's dope. Uh,
Yeah, it's fun. It's
I,
good release a lot of the time.
mm, do you fuck more with your like hard distorted metal songs or do you like your more vibey chill songs?
I like the chill shit more just because it's harder to make good.
Mm,
Like, it's easy as fuck to make like Get Up Out the World, for example.
mm,
Like that shit was like just all like rage and just like loud bangers and shit. But then Yamuda, for example, I put a lot more like a lot more depth
mm. Do you put emotion into like either of those, like the rage and
on
the?
every song. Every
Okay.
song I make, I feel like you can't make music without emotion behind it. Like there has to be emotion, or else like the song is just like drab and gray and boring.
That's true. I mean, people do it though. The generic. Take your bitch. Look at my wrist.
Yeah, no, that's just trash though. That shit garbage.
Yeah, I thought
I don't
so
fuck
too.
with any of that.
That's what I was trying to get you to say with the
Oh, the
mainstream shit.
mainstream shit. Oh, you mean like the current state of rap type shit, basically,
Yeah,
or the like the shit that everyone's into? Oh yeah, that's all. That's just for the birds. I don't care about any of that, bro. I really don't.
I hate it, man. It's like you meet people and it's like it's cool to meet people, but then like when you start talking about music, me and you we're into this underground shit and they don't know about it. they listen
Yeah,
to what's on the radio or some shit, and it's
it's
like,
very difficult to relate to people on these things. No, I'm
exactly.
good, Phoenix. I had food earlier. My bad. That was my little brother.
That's what's up. But yeah, exactly. It's very hard to relate. It gets annoying sometimes, and especially like for me, just being out, people play mainstream shit. It's like, ugh.
Yeah, I don't know. I could be around it. It's whatever. There's some songs where I can be like, all right, whatever. Like I like Comethazine. I could
Yeah,
listen to Comethazine. He's fun.
yeah.
But like I don't. I'm not heavy into like I don't listen to like 1,000 different rappers that are like that though. You feel me? Like,
I feel
which
you.
is what a lot of people do.
I feel you. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, Comethazine does a lot of, he screams a lot of his shit too. So, well,
Yeah.
borderline screams. So it's just more polished. But yeah, I feel. So I kind of don't want to ask that one. I was gonna ask, where do you think your? I'll ask it. Where do you think your like music will go in the future? Like you could predict, at least the near future, like next few, let's say 2 3 years. Where will Bruhmanegod be, or where you want to
Um,
be at least?
Fair and honest. I just want to do more shows and like I don't think that I need to really be doing more numbers than I am now.
Mm-hmm.
If I want to do that, but like it would be nice to like do more numbers just because that's always nice. But whatever. Like I'm not really thinking about that in terms of like what shit's gonna be like in the future.
Okay. You performed already.
Yeah, yeah. I've done a couple shows.
What was that like?
Uh, it was cool. I mean, so the first show I ever did was like February 2017 in Sacramento.
Mm-hmm.
I actually opened for Crime Wave because like that was like my first homie in this shit
Oh, that's
in
lit.
general.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that was my first show that I did as Bruhmanegod.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've just done a couple like small like stored based shows and shit like that. But then I did that the anti roll show in Portland, which was probably like my favorite show that I've done.
That's lit, man. That is lit. Man, I saw Cyber live, so that shit was.
Oh, yeah, no, he's good. It was funny, bro, because in Portland we got like shut down in the middle of Eric's set, and that was right before Cyber was supposed to go on. And
Damn.
so we basically got kicked out of the venue, and then we all fucking like everybody who was there moved over to this after party. I went back to my B&B first, but that's not like relevant. Anyway, we go to the after party, and I'm like sitting in a circle with like Eric and Love Loves You and like Leon's Wolf and shit, and we're all just like passing around joints for like 2 straight hours, waiting to see like whether or not Cyber's even gonna go on. And he ended up performing in that living room at like 2 in the morning to like 13 people, and it was pretty rare and pretty lit, I
Dog.
will say.
That's lit
Had like
as.
the worst speakers ever, but it like made it that much better for whatever reason.
Bruh, that's like the best shit to ever happen.
Oh yeah, for sure. It was fun.
That is lit, man. Like,
It was like a good thing to say that you could be there for. You feel me?
of course, man. Like, he's a performer, like for sure. The
Oh
dude is
yeah,
crazy.
oh yeah.
But yeah, that's lit. I gotta see you perform, man. Next show, bruh. You know what I'm saying? Invite me.
Well,
Invite you up.
what area are you in? Like, where are you from?
DMV. I'm near DC.
Oh shit, for sure. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll hit you when I do a DMV show then.
Big bad, bro. You know what I'm saying? Let me slide through. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
yeah, you already know.
Get on stage with you. Don't let me get.
No, I'd be down. I don't care. You can get on stage.
That'd be lit though. That'd be lit. Shit.
Just get on during your favorite song, whatever. It's not
All of
tripping.
it is my favorite. That's everything. It's
Appreciate
number
that.
one. Of course, of course. Shit. Well, I think I asked all the main shit I wanted to ask. Can I get into some like random shit with you?
Yeah, ask away.
Cool, cool. If you had
I,
one, who is your celebrity crush?
I didn't know you meant like these kind of questions. Fuck.
What you thought I was
Damn.
gonna be serious?
That's kind of tough. I don't know. I don't know what I expected, but that's a fucking tough ass question, bro. Uh,
It's a lot of bad hoes out there.
Shit. I'm trying to think of like musicians. Shit. Shout out Rihanna for the one time.
Why is that the first thing that comes to my head every time?
I
Rihanna.
don't know, bro. She's bad.
She is, man. She is. So Rihanna, you say Rihanna's yours?
Yeah, I'll give her that credit.
Okay,
I
okay,
don't see why not. I'll co-sign Rihanna for the one time.
okay, okay, okay. If you could have like one superpower, what would it be?
Whew. I actually have like talked about this with my friends many times.
Ooh.
Um, Shit, bro. I don't know. In between, like, I'll give like a good answer and an evil answer. Like, if I was a really good dude, then I would like read minds, but that would be for the greater good. You feel me? I would find some way to like use that to the advantage of everybody in the world.
Hmm.
But if I was evil, I would just have some crazy like force powers or some shit where I could like fly up in the air and then like look down at a building or some shit and then like have my palm open, then just clench it shut, and then the building just like implodes on itself. That would be pretty lit, and I would enjoy that.
I visualized the whole thing and like it looks amazing.
Some anime shit, bro. I just want to be on some anime shit. But the only problem with that is I know that if I were to like get too crazy with that, then something from somewhere else that's like 10 times as powerful as me will come
Come and
to
kick your
Earth
ass.
and then like challenge me. You feel me?
Come
And
beat
I'll
your
be like,
shit.
damn.
That's funny as fuck. Oh man, that is true. You fuck with the universe to probably spit something out that you never knew existed. That's
No,
crazy.
yeah. If something's that powerful, then something more powerful is gonna want to know about it.
That is true. That is true. Man, so Goku pull up like, bruh,
Like,
how you
what
know
you
this?
doing, bro?
That should be hilarious. Oh man.
Like, I didn't know you're gonna use this shit for this. Like,
Bruh,
goddamn.
I trusted you. No.
Devil
But nah. So speaking of anime though, what's your favorite anime?
Man Crybaby, hands down. I know it's like an 11 episode little event, but like it's probably my favorite anime that I've ever seen.
What's it about? Cause I don't watch. I don't kill me, but I don't watch anime. So.
No, it's good. It's a Netflix exclusive, so like if you don't have Netflix, you probably haven't seen it.
Oh.
But it's basically like this kid. Give me a second. Yeah, it's this kid, and he's on the track team, and like he's super emotional and shit. And he just has like such a big heart type shit, and he cares about like his friends and all that shit.
Mm,
And like it opens with him and his homie Rio, who he like saved.
mm,
And there he's like sitting there on like this fucking like random ass cliff somewhere, like crying because there's a cat that's dead in a box, and or no, it's dying, and his friend wants to kill it, and then that sets the precedent for like the whole series, pretty much. And then his friend takes him to this crazy ass like satanic party and turns him into a devil type shit. I don't know. It's hard to explain. It's really there's a lot to it, but I would just look it up if I were you.
yeah, I'll definitely do that. Sounds different. I'll say that.
Oh yeah,
And I'll
for sure.
definitely have to. You watch any like regular shows like like Naruto?
I don't really watch TV to be honest. I haven't watched TV like on purpose in like a couple of years. I think.
Mm. Any reason? Just.
I just don't keep up with it. I don't really like TV or movies like that. Like I love their movies, I love their shows that I love, but I
Mm.
don't really like just like sitting there. You feel me?
I feel you.
Unless the movie's like really really good.
True, true. Yeah, I would say yeah. There's a lot. I'm ready for Endgame this year. This is me though. I'm a big comic
Oh
book
yeah. The
comic
only reason I'm gonna see that is because I've seen all the other ones.
book.
So I
Yeah,
feel like I just kind of have to close it out, even though I don't really fuck with superhero movies like that.
true, true. I feel you. I feel you. Um, let me see. Out of what is your favorite movie that you've seen, if you have one?
I was literally thinking about this like a week ago, and I fucking forgot. Um, Man, um, let me get back to you on that. I don't fucking remember, to be honest.
Okay,
There are
okay,
a lot of movies where that I saw, and I was like, "This is really good. I think this is my favorite movie now."
I
You
feel
feel
you.
me? So like, I don't know.
Okay, okay. What's your favorite food? Like what you smack on?
Shit, I fuck with burritos.
Burritos.
Shit, I
Sounds
fuck
tasty.
with pizza, but only if it's like really fucking quality, like restaurant tier pizza.
Do you have like a specific type of pizza you like deep dish or shit, or you any pizza?
Oh, I could fuck with deep dish if I had the opportunity, for sure.
True shit. True shit. Okay.
I like cheese pizza though. I like to keep it simple.
Simple. No, none of that pepperoni shit.
It's just like the more extra shit that they do with the fucking pizza, the greasier it is.
That is true. That is very true. Yeah. Even vegetables can make it like greasy. Even like why? It's vegetables.
Yeah.
But
Like, why are these mushrooms greasy as fuck? Like, they should be drier than this.
exactly. Like why is my onion wet? Like, like oh man. That's true. That's true. You got a least favorite food? Like, what is the shit that shouldn't even exist? I'm sorry, I'm giving you
I'm
time.
just trying to think of foods that I can literally not stomach no matter what. I actually can't even fuck with mushrooms like on their own. I can't fuck with mushrooms by themselves.
I mean,
And I don't like tomatoes by themselves either.
but you love pizza. That's
Yeah,
interesting.
I like pizza. I like tomato products, but I will not. If you hand me a slice of tomato and tell me to eat it, or you're gonna fucking blow my brains out, I'll just let you blow my brains out.
You know what mine is, and it's funny. Mine are beets. I don't. I don't get why.
Beets? I've never fucking had a beet
Don't try
before.
it. Just don't try it. Don't do it. I'm
What
telling you.
beets? You had beets before, Jeremy? Damn. All right, my little brother hates beets as well.
They're just. They. Why are they food? Like they shouldn't exist. Like it's.
Why are they food? That's hella funny.
Like, bruh, if God, like, I believe in God, and that food makes me question. It's like God, why did you do this to us? But
He probably put it here for balance.
exactly, he had
Where
to.
there is order, there is also chaos.
Exactly. That's
One
man.
cannot exist without the other.
That was Satan, man. He made that. He said, "Well, I got you. Like, oh, you gonna make cheese? All right."
Nah, I feel like Satan made all this shit that like humans aren't supposed to consume in the first place.
That is true. But he made it so good. Like he made like crack.
Yeah.
It's like,
He
oh,
made crack, bruh.
it's
He
amazing.
made fucking burgers, bruh. He made double cheeseburgers, bruh.
Yes, he made all that shit.
You're
Like
not supposed to have that shit.
now I just can't get the image out of my head of like Satan making the burger. Like I just think of a red man with horns just in the back cooking. Uh, I'm weird. No.
You just,
Man,
it's an act of imagination.
man, I know I'm stupid. Uh, shit. I'm running out of man because it's late. I'm sorry. It's fun
Oh
though.
no, it's all good.
It's fun.
I'm not tripping. Just
Uh,
whatever you want to know, just fucking ask away, I guess. I don't know. I'm
anything.
sure. I'm
Huh?
sure if you want to know, then someone else probably wants to know. So,
That is true. So I just don't know what to add. Like, because we talked about the album. We want to talk about that. So like, why did you name the album "Get Out the World"? Or Get Up Out? Is it Get Up Out the World?
yes, that's pretty much just my message to like everybody. That's why I called it that. If you read the lyrics to the song, it's like about like Hollywood and like LA rappers and shit. Or not LA rappers, but the effect that whole LA culture has had on like rap as a whole, and especially underground shit.
I got you. I got you.
So get up out the world is just like if I don't fuck with you, like die.
Hmm. What's
It's just like the meanest way I could put it, but it's what it is.
It's real though. That's what matters.
Yeah,
What's the
yeah, for
meaning of
sure.
the other two?
The other albums.
Yeah. The other two albums.
Well, when I made Yamuda, um, I was like doing a lot of psychedelics and shit,
Mm.
and I was like, I don't know, just learning a lot about like energy and all that kinds of shit. And Yamuda is just kind of the name I gave to all the negative energy in my
Mm.
life and shit because I don't know, it's
Okay.
it's tough like trying to function sometimes. You feel me? But
No, I feel you.
so I just like that's the name I gave that force.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And the songs on it are all like pretty personal and like vulnerable and all kinds of shit like that.
Interesting. And the
And
other one?
then
Mm.
Extermination Order. Um, I mean, it's kind of self-explanatory. Same energy behind Get Up Out the World. You feel
Mm-hmm.
me? It's just like exterminating all the fuck shit, all the gimmicks and all that shit. And then SPW stands for Sewer Peasant Horse Son, which Muppy commented on one of my videos one time, and I was like, "You just gave me the name for my album." Because like Horse Son just means like someone who's generally disliked.
Okay, I learned something new. That's lit. That's lit.
Yeah.
So you said you take psychedelics. So, or you took psychedelics. Like, what is? Do you have like a spiritual like connection to that? Because I know a lot of people that take psychedelics usually
Well,
do it for spirituality purposes.
uh, I mean, it's not necessarily a connection to psychedelics directly. It's more like taking psychedelics opens up like a more like spiritual connection to everything. You feel me? But like,
Hmm.
I don't know. After a while, it's like there's only so much to learn, and I was doing that shit too much. Like I tripped maybe like 10 times in 2018.
Mm.
You're not supposed to trip that often, I don't think. And the last time I ever tripped was like January, and I was by myself, and it was a really fucking bad experience. So I don't know. It's for sure something to be careful with, but it's mainly just like it's an eye opener, you
Right.
know.
So you would you consider yourself like with doing all that? Just it's just a question. Do you consider yourself like a new? You can, my mic. Do you consider yourself like a new ager or like you know? Uh, I
A
don't think
what?
I call it a new ager. A new ager is
A
someone that's
new
like
ager.
yeah, they're basically like it's weird. It's hard to explain. I don't want to say like hippie, but they're
Hmm.
kind of like that. It's just people that like delve into the occult through psychedelics and different religious, spiritual, not religious, spiritual practices. You know.
Right. I wouldn't say all that just because I don't really like do it like that. Like I don't do psychedelic. I haven't done acid since like that really bad trip that I had.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, nah, I wouldn't say that I like am consistent with that kind of shit, like
Okay.
spiritual shit and all that.
What?
I try to like keep a level ahead and like use things that I thought about when I was on acid to like help me with that. But like
Mm-hmm.
I have a ways to go if I really want to do some like spiritual shit with this, you know. And I'm not really thinking about that right now. I'm an 18-year-old kid.
Well, I feel you. I got you. I got you. Do you, but just because I'm interested now, do you have like a not necessarily religion, but like a worldview that's you know, or do you just not really
Well,
care?
I for sure think that there's something that we can't see that fucking like uh, dictates everything. You know what I mean? Like the state of everything naturally.
Mm-hmm. Like a
But
force.
I wouldn't give it a name like God or anything like that, and I wouldn't attach like a whole organization or a whole like fucking like mission to it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like there's an undeniable force between
There's a
everything that is out
creator.
there.
There's a creator.
Something like that. Something like that.
Okay. Interesting. Interesting. I don't know. I just like to learn different, people's different, perspectives on the world. So
Yeah,
sorry if
for sure.
that's weird. Yeah.
That's good. That's a good question. Not a lot of people ask that.
Well, also, what is your like? How do you feel about drugs in society? Just as a whole, hard drugs, psychedelics, soft drugs,
In terms of what, like,
how society like treats it,
how
how
society perceives it.
yeah, how they
Um,
do it, yeah, like the people that do it, the people that don't,
shit.
what's your view on it? If you
I think that like shit's progressing. Let me reword this. I don't know. It's hard to say because when it comes to shit like weed, it's like, yeah, let's legalize it type shit. But once now that it's legalized, like they're pumping so much shit into it, and
mm-hmm.
like what people are getting now isn't even weed at all type basically. So like I don't know. I feel like whenever it's convenient, they're gonna capitalize off some shit like that. Like I'm sure that if like meth, for example, like Adderall, it's basically like meth. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Like components of Adderall like match up with components of meth and shit like that.
Hmm.
So I don't know. It's just kind of weird that to me that like people who fucking do meth are like looked at as like some crazy ass monsters, but little do we know like half the fucking population's on meth, bro. Like, if your kid's on ADHD medication, your kid's on fucking meth. Like
Interesting.
sucks, but it is what it is.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So my personal opinion when it comes to drugs, I think people could do whatever the fuck they want, but like if you're on like heroin and shit like that, just you can't really expect me to like come around you. You feel me? Like, but
Yeah.
that's about it.
Or shit like crocodile or bath salt or some shit.
I don't know. I've never heard of anyone fucking doing crocodile, bro. Anywhere in the U.S. I for sure don't know anybody that has tried crocodile.
Yeah. That's. I hope it stays that way.
Me too, bro. Goddamn.
But yeah. Shit, man. So what? See, now I for real ran out of questions. Let me see.
I mean, were all these questions just like winging it, or were these like written down?
Most of them. It's just when I got to
Oh,
the end
for
because someone told me I had to make this interesting for you, and I completely failed. I
sure.
won't say who, but they told me I had to make this hella interesting.
Nah, it's good. Just ask me what you want to ask me.
Okay. Cause we going on the hour mark, right? Let me check.
Something like that. I'm supposed to leave at like 10, which is gonna be in like 20 minutes. But
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Well, we can wrap it up then. Yeah, I got you.
all right,
So yeah. Well, like I said, I appreciate this, man. I want to do a follow up with you. You know, in a few months to maybe a year. It depends on you.
yeah,
Um,
but I'm down for whenever. Just hit me up.
Most definitely, man. Sorry, this is so weird. Like I said, it's late. I was up all day, but
Oh no, don't worry about it, bro.
dope,
My bad
dope.
for not hitting you earlier. I wasn't expecting today to be so fucking
Oh, you good,
I
man?
don't,
Man,
packed up.
I do not trip. You are good, man. I'm a fan, so I would do anything. So it's
Yeah,
all
no, it's
good.
good. Appreciate that.
Of course, of course. So last thing I'm gonna leave you with, I want you to, plug yourself. Tell us where we
Oh
can find
shit,
your stuff.
I'm on SoundCloud. I'm on Spotify. Yeah,
Lit, man, and it will be in the description.
I would hope so.
Most def. Well, anything else left that you want to say? Shout out anybody. The floor is yours.
Shit. All right, I'm gonna go to my who I'm following on SoundCloud real quick and just list off the names and say shout out all these people real quick.
Do it. Do it.
Just to put that out there. First of all, shout out Colt. That's like my not collective, I wouldn't say, but it's more of just like a platform type shit. And
Mm-hmm.
everyone that's part of that shit cares about this shit as much as I do. So shout out everybody that's part of that. Shout out Black. Shout out Heel. Shout out James Gorsica. Shout out Muppy. Shout out Janoskis. Shout out Sad Wrist. Shout out Eric North. Shout out Lil Darky. Shout out 83 Hades. Shout out Terror. Shout out Half Metal Kaiba. Shout out Lost Appeal and everyone that's part of it. Shout out Wendigo. Shout out Zoot. Shout out Crime Wave. Shout out Nine. Shout out Bowser. Shout out Leon's Wolf. Shout out Hash Gordon. Shout out Corpse. Shout out Spencer. Shout out Sleep is for Mortals. Shout out Young Flex. Shout out A14. Shout out Chex. Shout out Sleepy Randy. Shout out Ghosty. Shout out Sicko. Shout out Left Hand Luck. Shout out Sicko Yayo. Shout out Papa Sleep. Shout out J Trauma. And shout out Biv. And yeah,
Much love. Shout out all of them.
those are all the artists that I keep up with. So
The
y'all
gang.
should keep up with them too.
You know I do, but y'all watching have to. Okay, these niggas
Yep,
work
yep.
hard.
Oh yeah, shout out Navi too.
Navi. Oh, that's my boy.
He just put out a fucking album and I'm on that shit. Y'all should go listen to that as well.
I gotta do a review of that too, real quick.
Hell yeah. Do that shit.
That shit, oh man, I love Navi. Anyway, anyway, once again, I gotta thank you, much appreciated. I don't want to keep you too much longer. So,
Yeah, no problem. It was fun doing this. I'm glad that you wanted to know these things.
of course, man, there'll be more we'll do later. Like I said, much love, my brother, and you enjoy
Yep.
the rest of your night, man.
Yeah, you too, dog.
All right, man.
Peace out.
Peace out. Much love.